What's happening, people? I'm what you need. You're watching my channel. And man, I'm sorry I got to talk some more about Tyson Fury's gloves, but we're going to talk a little bit more about Tyson Fury's gloves. So here we go, get into it. Ishe Smith said that people have to be stupid to believe that Tyson Fury, his gloves were tampered, because he was saying that the commissions of Las Vegas, New York, and California, they're very strict on watching what happens in the corners of boxers. So he said, first and foremost, when those hands were being wrapped, an official was there, as well as the opposing member of the opposite team was there. I think it was Jay Diaz, to watch the gloves being wrapped. He also went on to say that there are officials in the corner of the boxes every ring at the end of every round to watch to see that everything that's happening is fair and above board. And so he said there is no way, it's impossible that Tyson Fury could tamper with his gloves. Now I listened to that, and again, the funny thing is, that's Ishe Smith's opinion. The problem with that is Ishe Smith, on a number of occasions, boxers have been able to get past the commission concerning their gloves. Now, what he said was the gloves are usually wrapped. The commission holds the gloves. And when the gloves come to the boxers, the gloves, of course, have to be unwrapped or unpacked because the commission's holding it. And at the end of the fight, the commission collects the gloves back to inspect the gloves. Now, the problem with this whole statement that Ishe Smith is saying, which Ishe Smith doesn't realize, is nobody's necessarily saying that Tyson Fury tampered with the gloves themselves, okay? What they're saying is that the positioning of his hand in the gloves, which Dewey Cooper very clearly showed can be made an adjustment by the boxer himself, walking to the ring in between rounds, whatever, is the problem, okay? And so Tyson Fury could actually make that adjustment himself, and therefore Stitch Duran didn't even have to see it. Everybody in the corner may not have observed it. Trust me, it took an eagle-eyed guy, a fan, to notice this. A good way of saying this is that Tyson Fury was doing something nobody expected him to do. It was hidden in plain sight. And from what we realize, he has been doing this for a number of fights. That's why the UK referee in his fight against, it'll come to me, a particular boxer about 5 years ago, he noticed that Tyson Fury's thumb was not in his gloves. Okay, so Dewey Cooper is 100% right. Maybe Ishe doesn't have all the information, so that, here's the thing that I have with people. Ishe Smith just fits into that category perfectly. There are some people who they try to defend a system. And they'll defend that system because somebody else is pointing out a flaw in the system and that change is necessary. People who look for improvements in systems, that's why you need to listen to people. People who look for improvements in systems and look to improve systems, these people are challenged by people who do not want the system changed. They will defend the system to the hilt, and they don't want to accept that there are flaws in the system, or they haven't heard all the arguments concerning flaws in the system. And what is happening is Ishe Smith is becoming an advocate for a system which is flawed. And what we are trying to do as fight fans, and also Dewey Cooper mentions it, and several other people, even though Dewey Cooper doesn't want to say that this is the reason why Tyson Fury won the fight, which is not necessarily, you can't point it as a reason that he won the fight, but it definitely helped him because it was an unfair advantage, and it was something where he got Deontay Wilder in the position he needed to get him in to land the right hand. And even so, I still argue that he could have turned over the knuckles in that punch. And even Dewey Cooper admitted that the knuckles would still have an effect on you. And as another boxer explained, if you're getting hit with the knuckles where you're not expecting knuckles in that area, and so you're feeling a different sort of punch, you're not aware of it, but your body registers it. Again, it has a surprising effect, which, remember, it's not about punching as hard as you can. It's about hitting a boxer when he doesn't expect it to be hit a certain way. The other thing being that Tyson Fury could have hit Deontay Wilder with the palm of his hand like this. Not to say that that was happening, because his fist was in here So the glove looked like it was doing this, but his fist was in there. So he was punching with this end of his fist, is what most people are saying. I'm saying that he could even have been punching with this end of his fist, turning it over, because the gloves would still look like it's going back this way. So he could still turn it over even. And I saw certain parts in certain fights where he was turning over the fist, but it looked like the gloves was going back this way. The whole point behind it is Tyson Fury has done this before, meaning he has built a skill on punching in gloves at the unpadded area of the glove, which would be in the middle section, the palm section of the glove, coming down to the wrist section of the glove. He has done this before, okay? That means he has found a way to punch with those gloves like that, okay? So whereas other people have not tried to do this, Tyson Fury has been practicing this. He has perfected the art of punching with gloves like that. What it does, it gives him an unfair advantage in terms of reach. It also gives him the unfair advantage of hitting an opponent with his knuckles. It also gives him the unfair advantage of hitting an opponent if he wants to with the palm of his hand, which is very illegal. It also gives him the unfair advantage of punching with the real knuckles of his hand, because the glove won't look that way. It's an illusion. And could he roll his hands? Probably not, because the wraps are separate to the glove. While they do wrap the glove, it seems as though his hand wraps underneath the glove will keep his fist in place, so it won't jar and shake still. I say all of these things not to try and point out to Tyson Fury that he's a cheater or he's a flaw. I'm not really interested in that. Hold on a second, people. All right, somebody just came to me. I'm going to have to wrap this video up. But my point is that at the end of the day, the thing that really matters in this fight with Tyson Fury is the fact that Tyson Fury got away with it, and the system didn't pick it up. And what we need to do is make sure that the system does pick up these things, and that people are not allowed to just get away with them. All right? I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.